Thank you so much for joining us once again right here on the Culture's Corner. My name is Marcus Slaughter. Surely I have issues like a river, but for many of them I have learned the hard way, and others I have learned through trial and error. And I want to share those wisdoms with you in hopes that your For More for Life campaign will be successful. Many people are successful in life, extremely so, but the process by which they secure that success is not necessarily integral. So today we're going to talk about the stump. You getting out and getting up and getting on your campaign grind. Because you know what? If you want more, if you want life, then you have to get up off your backside. Stop taking shortcuts so you won't get cut short. And get out there and campaign for it. Tell everybody what it is you're going to do, your intentions. Not everybody, but almost. Well, we'll talk about it. And I would be remiss if I did not say thank you to all of you that are listening on the multiple platforms that our radio network is playing. Also, don't forget now the radio station is playing on our website 24/7 right there at www.sibntelevision.com. The reason why it's called television is because we work with videos a lot first and double back to where we first began with audio, and here we are. And our hopes is to also merge the two. So listen, we are on day 16 here as we begin a series, a mini series within the series of the series called Your Campaign Stump. When you think about your campaign stump, and we're taking the political races of your municipalities, your state, your cities, and even on the national level to take apply a lot of lessons of those political campaigns to our lives. It's easy to point the finger to the elected officials and say, you gotta do this. And it seems like even in our parties we have talking points that are just for the hell of talking and not for the heck of solving anything, such as we want government smaller. Then put your seatbelt on, stop driving drunk. That's just my, little two cents on it. If you want government smaller, slow down. Less accidents, less tickets. I'm just saying. But in your campaign, there is several things that we won't all get into today. But the thing that comes to mind for me is the logistical planning of where you're going and who you're speaking to. And I'm not a campaign, I'm not a political guy, as far as having helped someone win a great campaign. But I can say that I have helped plenty of folks win their lives back. I've helped plenty of kids win their lives back, especially those kids that were counted out. So I've helped communities win their communities back. Help churches win new members in and some of the old members out. No, I'm just kidding. But have helped churches. Of course, that's my base where I started in high school as well. Working with the rejected kids. So I know a little something about helping folk win. And your campaign logistics might be a mess. It might be a mess because you haven't even planned. You're so busy, tied up. I'm so busy. So often we're so busy, tied up in the conversation and the compliments and the criticism, whatever you want to put on in that slot of others, that we allow them to set the agenda, logistically speaking, where we're going. Well, girl, I'm going over here to, hang on, my man. I'm going over here, man. I'm finna hit this weed right here. I'm finna go over here to this here club. That's all. If that's your thing, that's you. But all I'm saying is, how long are you gonna let somebody else set your agenda and your campaign goes lacking here? You know what I'm saying? I mean, your campaign has to be, it's a monster. Your life is a monster. Winning is a monster. And so logistically speaking, you have to decide, okay, where specifically within a week, within a day, within a month, within a quarter, within a year's time, where within a decade, where the heck am I going to go? How am I going to get there? What am I going to do when I get there? And why? Are you floating alone and you're just doing whatever just because? And that's why you can't win. You have bullseye mentality, but you're aiming at the wrong thing. You're not even on the range. You gotta have some logistical planning. And people don't want to plan today. They just want to do whatever the hell they want to do. Stop, start, up, down, back, forth, and then expect everything to be okay. You catching bullets from the left, you catching bullets from the right, you catching stuff from above, you catching stuff from beneath, all because you refuse to plan your logistical campaign for more for life. And how are you going to win? How are you going to win like that? You don't take advice. You can't take criticism. You got to be in a feel good to get anything done. You hang around the ones that compliment you, but they won't criticize you, or you're hanging around the ones that criticize you, but you'll never get a compliment. I mean, it's just an imbalance. How are you going to win? Gather yourself. Some of you can't be quiet. You can't shut up. You can't be alone. You see where we are? This is the campaign room. My mouth to your ear to the wisdoms of those that are in your circle. And we got to start logistically getting this thing together. Now, one thing I have found out, if you have a continued, repeated pattern, let me just say this on the onslaught as a disclaimer. If you have a repeated, continued pattern that roars its head, raises its head up every single time you try to do something, that means something is wrong. Something is wrong. Let's say it together. Something is wrong. It could be, we're using the political scene as our lessons here. It could be your security. You too wide open. It could be that no one is going before you. I felt that right there. Why are you going out on the campaign of life trying to win more by yourself? When you have loved ones that can be there and go before you, when you have, if you're born again, you have angels that can go and prepare the way, and the Holy Spirit that's supposed to be, according to the Greek, the Comforter. Why are you going at it by yourself? Why are you going ahead and you're planning a tour to tell all the pockets of so-called friends or associates that you're going to win XYZ in life, and you go out with no security? Nobody's planned your route so that you can be safe and also be able to make great timing. I mean, you know, I can go with this thing. Your campaign stump. Who's going before you? Who's planning your route? Who's got your security? You feel me? You're going to need some security on the stump. Because everybody ain't going to like you. Everybody is not going to believe in you. Everybody is not going to get with the program regarding you. You're going to need some security detail on your campaign for more for life. Because in this country of these United States of America, and if you're listening to me over in Europe, you have to deal with it in a different way. But in this country, we want two groups, the haves and the have-nots. We don't want nobody in between, and we don't give a crap about the person on the bottom. And in your campaign for more, to be better, to be sharper, to have excellence, to find destiny, to walk in purpose, you will never be secure on the campaign trail without the proper security detail. And some of y'all out there, they got bullseye targets on you and your back's wide open. Who got your back? Who got your back? Nobody. You just out there stumping around like a lost stallion. Your campaign stump. Before you open your mouth, before you approach the crowd, what are your speeches? What have you prepared on paper just in case your mind slip or you're tired? Where are your plans at? You see where I'm going with this? Your campaign stump. Well, I don't want to hear that speech from President so-and-so, and because they're lying and they're not going to do, and da-da-da. It's amazing how much rhetoric. You know, there used to be a time and a place when we had respect. We disagreed about things, but we knew how to keep a mouth shut. Now we just let the mouth fling open and say anything. And that's what a lot of people are doing with their lives. You just say anything out of your mouth, and then you wonder why you don't have no success. You got to take charge of your campaign stump. You got to let people help you. You got to make sure you have a security detail. We're going to talk about these things going forward. You got to make sure that you're preparing your speeches. What are your rebuttals? You got to have a few town halls, if you will. In other words, you can't just go out there and lecture everybody about what you're going to do, but you got to have some town halls and entertain some possible questions that will cause the public or the groups or the people that you're trying to get to vote for you to see something in a different way. And even that has to be screened, because you don't want a dumb question asked in the open without having you get me what I'm saying, your stump. Then you got to be able to afford the route. Can you afford to network over here versus having networked? See, most people, I hate to go here, but most people, they only network where they're comfortable. Yeah. If you're doing what you're comfortable doing, or if you're doing something that's only strictly uneasy, both extremes are not healthy. Your campaign stumps got to be, we got to redo your campaign stump. It's not working. You're campaigning for the wrong reason. And then if you go out there on the stump and your secrets is wide open and you still sneaking in the booth in the back in the dark somewhere, well, you on the campaign stump lying. And what's done in the dark is going to come to the light. So we got to get you on the winning side. We got to make sure that your team is a winning team. So stay tuned for more as we move out of the office of campaign strategy into the field of the campaign stump. Follow me if you can. It's the coach. I'll see you on the next one.